useless.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Box, the exciting show where we open a box and decide if the box rocks or if it's a box full of rocks.
I don't know if this is going to be a good episode.
This pillow is fucking useless shirt.
Yeah.
Grid is live. Initiate.
Excellent!
I'm not interrupting anything, am I?
Bogus.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Kind of a DeLorean?
My name's Norman Bates.
Oh, man, I'm so excited. I'm in on it.
Merry Christmas, movie home!
We came, we saw, we kicked his ass.
I'm just not the hero type, clearly.
Everything's under control. Situation normal.
Oh, well. Let me go in and say hi.
Hail to the king, baby.
Well, hi. It is Sunday, May 30th, 2021, and this is the Sunday Evening Unwind with quite an unusual looking panel. Right now, it's just myself and the great handsome Cheese. How are you tonight, Eric?
I'm doing well, Maxwell. Thank you for having me. How are you doing tonight?
You know, you're always welcome on our shows. I don't know. Is this your first ever Unwind?
No, I've done other unwinds. Like
you did the fast food one, I remember.
Fast food where I created chaos. I did the Marvel MCU one where I created chaos. So night's still young to see what I can do.
Yeah, you've done a couple of Survivor Islands, but a regular Unwind's a little different. You know, this is a very casual show where we talk about whatever. Normally we get to get started with talking about what your week in pop culture was like.
Okay.
Move.
Move.
Okay, I'm here.
Well, hello.
Sorry I was late. I didn't feel like logging into StreamYard, so I just figured I'd come to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
What up?
I mean, it's probably more convenient that way.
Yeah, it's fine. You like I just like push you out right into the wall.
Well, luckily I didn't go all the way into the wall because you knocked something over. You're making a mess.
Normally it's you knocking things over.
You're making a mess. Making myself.
Leave poor Maxwell alone.
It's
so pretty.
It's still very weird to be in the same room streaming with someone I've streamed with quite a bit from different states. It's surreal and odd, but we're here.
Yeah,
we did it.
We're here.
We did it.
Woohoo! Yeah. So, like I was saying, we normally like to start by talking about what your week in pop culture was like. So, what'd you watch? What'd you read? What'd you play? What'd you listen to? Anything in particular you want to talk about?
Well, I've been hunkering down and catching up with the Mass Effect remastered trilogy because I love the original trilogy. In fact, me and my wife, we actually talked about the original trilogy on our first date. So now we're spending the time playing it together again.
That's so sweet.
All this time later.
It's really, really sweet.
8 years together.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
So that was pretty much your week?
Did some yard stuff, and then I picked up Paramount Plus today.
Oh, nice.
Dipped my toe into that, and I've actually been catching up on old episodes of Bar Rescue.
Very nice.
Bar Rescue. I love Bar Rescue.
Was there Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I've just been going through the first season so far, because I'm going from doing the binge, going from first to whatever they had to the latest.
Was there a particular show or reason that swayed your decision to sign up for Paramount Plus?
Because I know Evil.
Yes.
That's coming out in June, and I didn't catch it when it was on CBS. That 13 episode. I caught it on Netflix, and I binged that. And I was like, "This show's fantastic. Why aren't more people talking about this?"
Great show.
Agreed.
So that's what spurred me to be like, okay.
It's kind of a shame that what I think was the best hour-long show CBS has right now is moving to their streaming service, but the reality is they're more middling procedurals like NCIS, Orlando, NCIS, Sri Lanka, NCIS, SeaWorld do much better in ratings than Evil did. So,
well, because Evil is just like too far out there for the average CBS
it is pretty
audience.
far out there.
Like I was just like, you have a Catholic priest who's Luke Cage, that actor, shooting up drugs to just have psychedelic visions. I can understand how the average CBS viewer is going, I just want to see Scott Bakula solve who killed this Marine or whatever NCIS does.
Exactly.
NCIS, Cafe Istanbul.
I do appreciate CBS taking the chance on it, though, and I have to think that it's created by the Kings, who also created The Good Wife and The Good Fight, both of which have been a huge success for CBS. So I'm thinking that they use some of their clout to get CBS to, greenlight this very odd show.
Well, and also you got to remember, it was starting in the middle of pandemic too, so like that probably had to push it back a little bit.
I think the first season actually aired like the fall
before
of 2019, before the pandemic.
Right. So like CBS, we're like, okay, let's get everything together. What can we make easily during this pandemic?
Well, I've also heard it's been a big hit on Netflix.
Oh yeah. Well, that's how I came across it.
Right. So I think, like you're a prime example. People may even sign up for Paramount Plus so they can watch season 2.
Yep. And that's exactly what I did. And also my wife really wants to watch Picard. So who am I?
There you go. Yeah, I agree, Dana. The Exorcist show was really good and short-lived. But, now that a lot of different networks have their own streaming platforms, if a show is a success but not a huge hit, they can choose to move it over so it can keep getting new life.
Well, and also, again, get that money.
Well, yeah. So, Amber, are you enjoying Brooklyn?
So I am. I like exactly where this apartment is. I was like, oh, this is really dope. We walked to get pizza earlier, and it was a very cute walk. We also went basically right across the street to go get food, and it was the best pasta I think I've ever had. It was super fresh. I was like, holy crap, why do I live in Florida? Oh, right. I forgot I have a job and things to do. It's fine.
A whole life there.
Yeah, I have a whole life there. It's fine. It's fine. But
I mean, you can make your life go up to New York.
Yeah, I think, yes, that's a thing. That could be eventually arranged, but I have things in Florida, like a husband and a house.
Oh yeah,
minor details.
Just a little detail. Grant, I haven't been in New York in
minor details.
I'm glad you're enjoying New York, Amber. I haven't been in New York in probably 15 years.
Dana out here, Florida sucks.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Peace.
Peace out, Florida.
But yeah, so we were supposed to go to a Mets game tonight, which is why we're both in Mets blue, but it got rained out. I'm even wearing my bracelets and stuff, so I'm kind of.
So we went and got pizza and caught up on some Schmodown matches.
Yeah.
That I was behind on, so it worked out.
Yeah.
And you got your first match coming up next week, right?
Yeah, I'm officially allowed to talk about it now. My first match in the first class league is on Tuesday. That's 2 days from today at 6 Eastern on the Schmodown Twitch, twitch.tv/the Schmodown. I am facing someone named Just Daggers.
Just gonna lose, more like it. Oh,
I don't know who that is. He has about 30 followers on Twitter. I have about 30 friends who I saw today. So I don't know what he's got going on, but he gonna lose.
Yeah.
He gonna lose.
He gonna lose. Thank you very much, Matt. I appreciate it.
Did you see this from Sherry? Did you listen to Staying Alive While You're Eating Pizza? No.
No.
We literally walked in, they handed us pizza, and we walked out.
And we came back and ate it in the apartment.
And there were about like 2 giant groups of people that were really pissed off at us because we got walked right in, and then we walked out, and I'm like, Hen, don't you look dumb.
That's why you order ahead.
For
pickup. It's a beautiful day.
Yes.
But yeah.
I'm really excited for my match.
It's gonna be dope.
I'm also really excited. Chris Adams is also playing on Tuesday. He's a good friend of mine, so I feel like our journeys have been similar, and so maybe if we both win, then we'll face off thereafter. Who knows? Anything's possible. But
who knows?
But
I'll be watching. I'll be making sure to watch.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Patty. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm optimistic. I'm gonna do alright. Put on a show for everyone. Have a good time. You know how it's gonna be. You know how it's gonna be. Thanks, Dana. Thanks, Reef. it's nice to know I got so many people in my corner, because I'll say this too, considering his Twitter followers or lack thereof, I don't think Just Daggers is going to have many people in his corner. So
I'm in your corner.
He's probably going to lose people.
There's a corner right there.
So otherwise, you're not rooting for me?
Oh, I don't have a choice.
You don't have a choice?
I work with you.
You do work with me.
Yeah.
You also tweeted earlier that I'm your champion.
Oh,
so.
yeah, I did say that. But maybe that's because you're going to be on my show, because I got best friend rights.
You do get best friend rights.
Yay!
In her.
Yeah, so he'll be on the gold standard on Tuesday.
Yes, so Tuesday, if you like me, you'll get a lot of me, and if you don't, well, don't watch.
Well, who doesn't like a lot of me?
Don't tune in.
Aw, you want a lot? No. So, what?
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. So, Thursday night, I went and saw A Quiet Place Part 2, which I really liked. I'm a big fan of the first one. I'll admit, when there was first murmurs that they were going to make a sequel, I was unsure what it might look like, or even if it was something that needed to exist, because I thought the first... thanks, Brian. Really appreciate it. The first was a really, relatively open and shut story. Like, it came to a resolution, but I thought...
it was a complete story, yeah.
Yeah. But I thought John Krasinski did a really, really fantastic job of continuing the story, taking it in new and surprising ways. Some of the suspense set pieces are some of the best directed and most accomplished I've seen in a long time. There's some stuff that reminded me of like the iconic, when I always think of like the last 30 years, like big budget suspense scenes, the scene I always go back to is in the museum in Jurassic Park where the kids are hiding from the raptors. Which Steven Spielberg then sort of aped and did again in War of the Worlds with Tim Robbins down in the basement. But there are some scenes in A Quiet Place Part 2 that feel practically Spielbergian in their level of cinema craft and suspense. John Krasinski is a really fantastic director. And Cillian Murphy is great in the movie. Millicent Simmons, who is the deaf actress, has an even bigger role than in the first, and she slays it. I think I would even argue she is the lead of this film.
Oh, awesome!
And Marco Beltrami wrote just a remarkably good score. He did a good job with the first one, and he really got to expand it this one. So I really think it's one of the best sequels we've gotten in a long time.
Okay, so it does a good job continuing the story that's built.
Yeah, no spoilers. I'm done. Hopefully that was vague enough.
I think it was good and vague, but like it does a good job continuing that world, that story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I might break my rule of going to the theaters because I was going to wait until Black Widow. Quiet Place Part 2 is really tempting.
I will say this, considering also you just signed up for Paramount Plus, it will be on Paramount Plus 45 days from the day it hit theaters.
That's
which is, a bit of a wait, but still, considering it, you used to have to wait, 3 to 6 months to watch a movie at home after theaters. I think
45 days. There's
one major thing the pandemic has shifted is even as we continue to like crawl out of this hole and things open and get back to normal, that the window between theaters and streaming will just get shorter and shorter. The window is really always dictated by the cinema owners union. But I think Disney, for example, with their Disney Plus Premiere and other stuff, have struck deals with the major cinema chains where they share a little bit of the streaming profit to quell their anger, and then everyone gets to play. So, yeah.
And speaking of Disney Premiere Plus, you saw the movie that just got released on it this weekend on Disney Plus, Cruella, didn't you?
Yes,
that did happen.
Which we'll talk about now because Amber and I went and saw it yesterday.
Best friends viewing.
Yes, in a beautiful Dolby theater on the Upper West Side.
Ooh.
First row, the balcony, which are the best seats in the house, in my opinion.
Hallelujah.
No one's in front of you, but you're not too close to the screen. Great stuff.
And if you get the center,
yeah, no, we had the perfect center. I know my life. I know what's up.
You know what you're about.
Normally, if I do Dolby, I do it at the Disney Springs Theater at Walt Disney World, and I sit in the front. But the theater is so big that you can sit offset from the middle, and it's still perfect. So I normally sit in the balcony on the third floor because they have a third floor, and I literally sit almost all the way over to the left, and it's beautiful. I never have a problem with that. I've seen many movies with a few different people, including Dana, in there. I saw Endgame and I like freaked out.
We'll have to see a movie there. Maybe Fast 9.
Fast 9.
Fast 9.
Okay.
I mean,
maybe they'll put In the Heights in there.
Oh, that would be dope.
I would. Oh my.
Yes.
All I'm hearing is road trip.
We saw Cruella yesterday, and what a weekend for new movies. Because honestly, like the Disney live action adaptations have been hit or miss.
Mm-hmm.
I think the ones that overall are the best are the ones that really don't remake a classic, but either drastically reinvent it, like Pete's Dragon.
Yes,
or
that's my favorite one.
Or like Maleficent, for example, where it takes characters we know, but it's really a different story, and that's what Cruella did. And honestly, I loved this movie from frame one. Its tone, its energy, its vibe, its use of costumes, set design, the color. Yep. That was literally going to be the next thing I said. Like, I was immediately in love with the world and the aesthetic this movie created. So anything else I enjoyed was just icing on the cake.
The Emmas were perfect.
But there's so much more. Yeah, Emma Stone and Emma Thompson are fucking fantastic. They both get to like go at. Honestly, like this is like a new camp classic. And sometimes,
I was going to say, how's the camp value in this?
Well, sometimes camp is used as a pejorative. That is not how I'm using it here. It is intentionally campy. Everyone from the director,
I think this is the right movie to do that with.
Well, it's clear that everybody involved, from Mark Strong to the Emmas to Schmoedown competitor Paul Walter Hauser, knew exactly what movie they were making, and because of that, it's campy in the most glorious, fabulous way. Yes, there's a character named Artie, played by an actor whose name I can't remember because he's a newcomer, who is the most fabulous character.
Love him.
Love him so much. But again, I just want to talk about Paul Walter Hauser, who I saw on Twitter earlier, like Paul Walter Hauser always understands the assignment. That
this is
meme.
true.
He really, really understood the assignment in this movie. He is hilarious. Joel Fry is good too, who plays Jasper.
Yeah.
The two of them are amazing together. I even said, like, if this movie is a hit, which it seems like it is, combining the opening weekend box office and all the streams. Yes, thank you, John McCrae. Like, I would watch a Disney Plus series about this version of Horace and Jasper, just having fun and going on heists, because that's the other thing I loved about this movie. I am a sucker for a heist scene.
Yes.
And this movie has a couple of really fun heist sequences.
Where's my Stephen Colbert gift? Give it to me now.
Yeah.
Just give it to me now. I want it.
Yeah, I was really taken away by this movie. In fact, I want to go see it again. And Nicholas Bertel, who is an incredible composer who did the scores for like Barry Jenkins's Moonlight and If Beale Street Could Talk, and also the amazing music for one of my favorite shows on HBO, Succession, composed the score for this movie. And it's really a type of work he hasn't done before, because he's mostly done serious stuff, but he gets to be a lot more whimsical and jaunty and gothic here, and he slayed it. Yeah, Keon, who actually saw it with us, it was the three of us went and saw it, says the score was 10 out of 10.
I just want more popcorn.
I leaned over to Maxwell and said, "This score is so good." It's true, you did.
I heard
I
that.
think everyone in
did she add all those extra O's too? So good.
Yeah, he was like, "This score in this movie is so good."
No, there were fantastic moments when I'm pretty sure everybody in the theater heard you laughing. Because, oh my god.
There's one bit in particular where I laughed so loud it like reverberated off the walls, and
And I was like,
you know how loud a Dolby Cinema can be. So the
yes, I do.
The fact that people heard it is like wild.
oh yeah, it was great. It was so much fun, and I was just in awe because the color, oh my god. I think that's what sold me, because the use of Cruella's signature, the black and white hair and the red was perfect. And it just, I don't know, it had that feeling, such like a nouveau feeling. And I was like, oh, this is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, it was absolutely stunning. And like, there's an entire black and white party, like everybody's dressed in black and white the entire time.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
I know it's only May, but if this is not immediately a front runner for the best costume Oscar, someone has made, like, honestly, I feel like even if you've seen like the trailer or stills from it,
the trailer, like, you can tell the costumes are amazing.
So yeah, big fan of this movie. Maybe my favorite or top 2 of like the last 10 years of Disney live action adaptations.
Your other one.
Pete's Dragon.
Pete's Dragon.
Yeah.
I think
Pete's Dragon is so good.
So I didn't see Pete's Dragon, but I think Aladdin was probably
I
one
like
of my
Aladdin.
top ones. I loved Aladdin.
And
I thought it was beautiful.
I really like Kenneth Branagh's Cinderella.
I didn't see it either.
So
I probably need to see more movies.
Yeah.
I'm starting to become the Adelia of Disney movies.
Considering you won that Disney match against
Oh, nobody knows that. So I played a training match in a Patreon.
I did well too, though.
In a Discord, you did. It was me versus Chris Engel versus Maxwell, and I think we went like 57.
Yeah,
you went out long before that.
I went late 40s.
Yeah, you went late 40s, and I just kept going, and I beat him, and I was like, oh my god, I worked really hard. Pardis, I agree and disagree all at the same time. Is that possible? You can do that.
It never felt long to me. I mean, it's about 2 hours 15 minutes, and I was always intrigued.
This is what I mean.
Yeah,
So,
that movie's terrible.
I agree and I disagree because there are certain things that I love about it and there are certain things that I hate about it. So I'm like, it has its moments where it's really fun and really good, but then the rest of it, it's like, oh, Jon Favreau, come on, man.
I didn't like it.
You're supposed to be the best of us.
Best of us. I don't really like the Beauty and the Beast that much either, which is a shame.
No, did not like that one.
There's elements of it I like, but
I like the risk they took with Dumbo. Like it was just
Dumbo has a lot of good stuff in it, and then some stuff that's
because I was watching it in the theater and I was thinking to myself, "Is like, is this Disney admitting they're the bad guys with the Fox merger?"
Because it's Tim Burton trying to get one over on Disney,
right? Because I was like, Michael Keaton is clearly Walt Disney. This is what this is. He's buying Dumbo just so he can get the X-Men. I mean, what?
Yep, exactly.
It's just gonna lay off everyone else.
Yeah. But yeah, Cruella, big fan. I can't wait to watch it again, and I'm sure I'll own it on 4K someday. Hopefully, Best Buy will have a nice steelbook, put it in the collection. But I think Emma Stone is instantly iconic in this role. I think this is up there with like Michelle Pfeiffer and Catwoman for me in terms of like badass women playing these like iconic anti-hero / villain characters. So good.
I just really love the word villainous.
Villainess? Oh, she's a regular old villainess. Yeah, they're doing it. The Russo brothers are producing a live action Hercules, so it's in pre-production now. You're gonna get it. To me, if I was Disney, like the ones I would want to try and remake are the ones that maybe weren't as popular. Like I think live action Atlantis. Yes. Or Treasure Planet or both could be big hits. And if you want to go back and do like a live action Black Cauldron,
that'd be a good one.
Or Sword in the Stone, ones that aren't as
iconic,
beloved or iconic, but still well known, where they could really chart their own course. Because to me, the big problem with Jon Favreau's Lion King is how slavish it was in its adaptation of the animated film. And the reason why I think Pete's Dragon works or Cruella is because it takes inspiration from the original, but really does its own thing.
Okay, you said Atlantis. Now I have questions.
Okay.
If you could cast your live action Atlantis, who would play Milo and who would play Kida?
Tom Holland would be Milo because he looks almost identical.
Yeah, Tom Holland and Zendaya as.
Well, so that's the thing is I feel like Zendaya would be
that's the easy answer.
Too obvious of a choice. So I was thinking of Yara Shahidi from Blackish, and now she's on Grownish, which is like her spinoff on Freeform.
Okay.
Because I also think she's really, really talented. And just so it's not Tom Holland and Zendaya again, if you wanted to go older, you could do Andrew Garfield and Zoe Saldana, but then Zoe Saldana would be playing the same role she plays in the Avatar movies.
Right.
Because Atlantis is Avatar, is Pocahontas, is,
Last of the Mohicans.
Is Last of the Mohicans, is Dances with Wolves. It's all the same story, which is fine. It's a great class. Even The Last Samurai. It's a great classic story. But to have Zendaya play Kira, it would be just too much. Like, what's her role in Avatar? Neytiri?
I think you're right. It is.
So this is not a question.
You've been on the ride, though.
Doesn't mean I need to watch the movie.
I'm gonna make you watch it at some point.
Wait, you've never watched Avatar?
Don't hiss at me. Yes, this is right. Fern Gully. Yeah.
I boycotted it.
She
when
might
they
be.
decided they were gonna.
Oh,
Oh.
Zazie Beetz is a good choice, Dana. I like that a lot.
I agree.
Ooh.
I think she's the best one to come up with.
Zazie Beetz as Domino is like so sexy.
She's dope.
Dope.
So
Dope.
So dope.
But I don't want to watch Avatar.
You don't have a choice.
Oh, I have choices.
No.
I will.
It's cute that you think you do.
Aww.
So what else should we talk about? What other nonsense can we get into?
Not watching it. I boycotted it when they decided they were putting a land in Animal Kingdom and taking out my area.
Can't Minnie Mickey? Oh.
Rest in peace.
So I was on my honeymoon right before they started construction of that. I remember because I was at the Westgate timeshares from the guy who was featured in.
Don't just grab someone else's mouse. That's
I do what I want.
inappropriate.
I've been doing it the entire time.
It's really
So now you decide to tell me?
really inappropriate.
I can go be on my laptop. I could buy.
But no, so the guy who was featured in Queen of Versailles, his timeshare, I was there, and the guy who was trying to sell the timeshare to me and my wife, even though we're on our honeymoon, I could care less about what he was talking about. Basically, he was talking about the Avatar land, and like he's like, "Oh, it's gonna be so cool! It's gonna be great for Disney." I was thinking to myself, "No, it's not."
It is actually really cool and has been a huge financial success for Disney. Like I hear so many people say I didn't even like the movie, but I have a lot of fun with it. So,
oh, okay. I just remember him talking it up. It's just like, does Disney really need that? Ooh, Jungle Cruise.
I'm excited for the Jungle Cruise. I think it looks fun. I think it looks like a cross between The Mummy and Pirates of the Caribbean. I love its like pulp adventure vibe from the trailers.
Yes.
And honestly, what I'm most excited about is Jesse Plemons as the villain. Because I read an interview where he said, like someone was like, "So what was your inspiration, or how did you approach your role in the Jungle Cruise?" And he was like, "I just decided to go as big as possible, and then I went even bigger." Which, ham it up, Jesse Plemons. Let's go.
Oh, that's how you talk me into seeing a movie.
No.
Okay, good.
But yeah, it looks fun. Thank you, Pardis. Yeah, I talked about this a little bit at the beginning. I appreciate your support. Yeah, I think I'm gonna crush it. I hope I'm gonna crush it. I don't want to be too.
You're trying to be humble at the same time. You don't
No,
wanna be
I'm
too
not trying to
cocky.
be humble. No. I'm just not trying to be like obnoxiously cocky. Like I feel optimistic I'll do well.
Right. And I believe you will do well.
Oh, thank you.
I need to check on something. Are you okay? You have a fever?
No.
Oh,
Why?
not the Maxwell I know.
What are you talking about?
Nothing.
She's saying I'm cocky. I love it. Okay, bye.
Bye, Amber. Oh, Amber down.
Oh boy, we've made a mess.
Oreos down.
Is it a mess or is it?
As long as your phone is not broken.
My phone is
Oh.
not broken.
So, Eric, do you watch Mighty Ducks Game Changers?
Oh, absolutely. I get
So-
up early on Fridays and watch.
Let's talk a little bit about the finale and the season as a whole without spoilers.
Yes.
I haven't even watched any of the season.
I thought it was such a fun, satisfying season of television.
Absolutely. It reminded me of Ted Lasso. It was just that.
Yeah.
It just pure love of sports and entertainment. And it had that story that kept me going and just.
It's sort of like Cobra Kai, but the Ted Lasso approach, with obviously it being made for families.
Right.
Like this is the perfect live action family show. I've been a huge fan of like the original trilogy of movies since I was a kid.
Same here.
So when they announced the show and said Emilio was coming back, I was instantly excited, and I think they did such a great job. It is like
His arc is so great.
It's so true to the tone and spirit of the original films.
Mm-hmm.
But it also like charts its own course. It's more modern, more progressive. The cast of kid characters is so lovable and great.
Mm-hmm. I love the kids.
I hear Lauren Graham is.
Yeah, Lauren Graham is fantastic. Her and Emilio made a great pair.
I shipped them so hard.
I was gonna say, if there's a season 2, which I think there's gonna be, I think they're like hinting towards them getting together. But
again, the Stephen Colbert, just give it to me.
yeah, give it to me. But the finale was so good. I think they nailed the ending. And again, I don't want to spoil it, but the way it played out and what they were playing for in the final game, I thought was so clever and poignant. I never would have, come up with that was the way they were going, and it's like perfect ending for the season.
Oh, I totally thought they were going to go like the ending like of the other Mighty Ducks movies where, here it is.
Yep.
But you're right. I loved what they did for the actual last game and what the stakes were. And because I'm rewatching it in my mind, I'm like, it makes sense. It tells that whole story for the whole season. And can we also talk about how Emilio Estevez is looking more like his dad every day?
There are sometimes where like I'll catch a glimpse and I'll be like, Martin?
Yeah, if I'm not paying attention, like, oh, Martin, oh, wait.
Yeah. So if they do more seasons, I hope they do follow the Cobra Kai approach where each season they bring back another villain or character from the original trilogy. Like in a season 2, I would love somehow
the
dentist, exactly, to come in and be like an antagonist, or the coach from the prep school in the third movie. Like there's so many. And then of course the big one is, one of my favorite episodes, I think it was episode 7 or 8, where we got all of the
original
Ducks, but we got to get Joshua Jackson back.
Oh, absolutely. They were teasing it so much.
Well, they sort of like wrote a way to make it explain why he wasn't there. But also now I think that the rest of the Ducks have actually found out what's going on with Bombay. They'll tell him, and Charlie may shield up. So the thing about... Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say, Charlie is like the Elizabeth Shue in Cobra Kai. Like they teased it for 2 straight seasons. And then finally with the guy on Netflix, that's when she shows
up. And
up.
Elizabeth Shue looks just as good now as she did in Karate Kid.
It's true.
The thing about Goldberg is the actor has had some serious health problems. From what I understand, he's in recovery and doing better. And if he's in a place where he can, I'd love to see it. But, I think his health and his self-care has to be most important.
Yep. So. Yeah, because I think, what was it? Just like last year, maybe, he finally made a public appearance for like the first time since he was arrested at a hockey game. And like everyone was celebrating him. So baby steps with him. Because, he was a child actor who it didn't work out. And, the tragic story happened to him, but like you said, he's in recovery. He's in a better place, but hopefully he feels like he can do something like a episode of Game Changers.
Yeah.
So
I guess I have to watch.
Yeah, I think you'll really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. I was shocked by how much fun I had with
it. Yeah, and, it was emotion. Like, nostalgia aside, like I think you really care about the new kid characters, and it does a great job of dealing with like bullying and otherness, and these kids who are truly unique and special and have their own personalities. So it was really good. I'm a big fan. This I agree with. Actually, I've said this before. Where is the comment? Anyway, someone said that they would like Disney Plus to do a Sky High TV show. Oh, here it is.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like the perfect property to adapt into a Disney Plus TV show. Even if they could get Kurt Russell back for like 1 or 2 episodes, or Bruce Campbell would be someone who I'm sure would come back.
Bruce Campbell in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
No, that again, because it's a premise that works, and you can make it a family show, which is right up Disney's alley for Disney Plus.
Yep. I'm sure Mary Elizabeth Winstead would come and do some of it.
That seems fun.
Or Michael Angarano. Like, there's a lot of actors who are not that busy, or who are busy but still would probably come do it. Daniel Panabaker, who's on The Flash, but I'm sure could find time to do it. Yeah, that would be a fun show.
Oh, I would watch that.
Yeah,
I dig it.
What else is going on?
Linda Carter could definitely come back. She was in Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, Linda Carter, I'm sure, would come back. Yeah.
I mean, you can even bring in Riot Russell. He could make a cameo. They could make it a prequel series and have him star as the young version of Kurt Russell.
They could do that, although he's supposed to be doing. Isn't he in talks to do the Escape from New York remake? So he's already playing a younger version of his dad, or the same character his dad played. Why don't we spend a little time playing a game of movie Would You Rather?
Okay.
So pick 2 movies, and then the other 2 people will say which one of those they would rather watch.
Okay.
So why don't you start? Yeah, Pardis. Kelly Preston did sadly pass away.
Let's see. Hold on, you gotta think of the title here.
He's got to look something up, folks. A little research.
Okay, would you rather watch Saw the Final Chapter or Spiral?
Having seen both of those movies, I would rather watch Saw the Final Chapter. Because Spiral was awful, and Saw the Final Chapter is merely just bad.
Yeah, I saw your tweet about it. I was like, I have to Wikipedia this. How bad is Spiral? And
I was kind of looking,
ending, and I was
looking forward to it, particularly because it was only made because Chris Rock came up with the idea for it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this is going to be a passion project. Well, it didn't work out.
There was no passion.
There was no passion, and it was barely what I would call a project.
Yeah, because I read it. I was like, really? This is
a movie? Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, all right, I'll pick. Let's see. Sing Street or Once?
Ooh, I'd go Sing Street.
Really?
As much as I love Once, it's just with Sing Street because it's just like we were talking about with Mighty Ducks. It's just that story that resonates with me, and the soundtrack. I love the soundtrack for that. And as someone who is the youngest brother of 3 brothers, it has a little.
That makes sense.
A little spot right there in the old heart of mine.
I'm assuming you've seen neither.
That's correct.
Yeah, I would probably go Once because I love Sing Street so much. But I saw Once in college. It's always held a special place in my heart, and I think it's so like lushly romantic, and those songs are so beautiful.
Oh yeah, I love that.
It sort of takes my breath. We did a watch along of it actually at the beginning of this year, and I was like sobbing while we were watching it. It movie moves me so much every time.
I remember I was living with a roommate. We both went and saw it at a local theater here in Columbus. And then like 2 years later, when The Simpsons made a joke just based on Once, and like my roommate at the time goes, kudos to the Simpsons writers for writing a joke for only like 10 people who saw this movie.
Well, now Once is well known because, the Broadway show was a hit. It won the Tony. But Sing Street is coming to Broadway too. It was off Broadway. We've actually had one of the actors from it, Max Bartos, on a bunch of our shows. And I think it's planning to open on Broadway this fall once everything reopens. So Dana coming in with John Dies at the End or Odd Thomas.
I'm going to go with Odd Thomas only because I've only watched John Dies at the End. So I'd like to watch the other one.
Okay. So I like the Odd Thomas books a lot. I have them and have read a bunch of them, but I like John Dies at the End better as a movie. I don't think the Odd Thomas movie is as good as it could be based on the books. You've seen neither?
Nope.
Yep. Okay. Next. Chop Around the Corner of You've Got Mail. They're both fantastic movies. I mean, you got Jimmy Stewart, you got Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan. But for me, You've Got Mail has been like a stalwart love of mine since I was a kid and I saw it in theaters. I know it's probably weird to say, but like when I think of New York, this is one of the first movies that comes to mind. Like it's just crisp and fall, and I don't know. There's not a day that goes by where I don't think to myself, "Don't cry, shop girl."
I was gonna say that.
So I love You've Got Mail. So I'm going You've Got Mail. But Shop Around the Corner is great too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, they're both great. I'll probably go with You've Got Mail too.
Same. I love You've Got Mail. It's probably one of my favorites.
You need quiet during a singing hot dog? Greg Kinnear. Do you remember the show Undeclared?
Yes.
Which was a Judd Apatow show that only had a season
on Fox.
On Fox. There's an episode where Seth Rogen and Charlie Hunnam are watching You've Got Mail, and another character comes in and is like, "You guys are watching You've Got Mail?" And Charlie Hunnam turns to him and goes, "But Greg Kinnear is just so likable." Which is true.
It's true.
The Mrs. Doubtfire musical played for a couple weeks before COVID shut it down. I know some people who saw it who said it was pretty enjoyable. It's definitely on my list of things to see once it reopens. I go see everything. So when I see it, I'll definitely talk about it here on the network. Lady Hawk or Willow?
I'm gonna go Lady Hawk only because to this day Willow still terrifies me because I was 5 or 6 when I first saw Willow for the first time, and that scene where they all start transforming into pigs scared the living bejeebus out of me. I ran out of my living room in tears, barricaded myself in the bathroom. My parents had to take the door off the hinges.
Oh my God.
Because I was so scared of it.
I'm definitely going Willow. It's a classic. It's, Warwick Davis, Val Kilmer, Ron Howard directed it, Lucasfilm, and they're making a prequel show or something for Disney Plus.
Yeah, I know they're making some kind of series for Disney. I don't know if it's a prequel or a continuation.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm assuming you've seen neither? Correct.
Safe assumption.
So, okay, before we get to the other ones in the chat, why don't you pick 2 movies that you've seen? Tell us which one you choose, and then we'll choose. So you can participate in this beautiful game we're playing here on the Sunday Evening Unwind.
So 2 that I've seen in fact the last week, Soul and Cruella, because they're both beautiful movies. They're both incredibly striking but completely different.
That's tough. That's tougher than I might think it is because, I would think, yeah, the Pixar movie, of course. And Soul is beautiful, but for some reason I'm leaning towards Cruella just because it was so much fun and I loved the aesthetics so much.
And because I haven't seen Cruella yet, I'm probably going to go with that one because, again, you two have done a fine salesmanship of selling it to me.
I'll take it by ACH payment, Disney.
Just give it
Stock options.
Yeah.
So my pick, Soul.
Okay.
I loved Cruella, and I mean, honestly, it would be.
I do have Joe right here, so don't get me wrong. I do love Soul.
I loved Cruella, and I'm really, really sad that I didn't get to see Soul in theaters. Like it's such a beautiful.
It didn't play theaters.
I know, that's something that really kills me. It's such a beautifully stunning movie, and I literally am 22. Like everything about 22 as a character is me. I giggle because Tina Fey did such a good job injecting so much character just into a voice role. And I was like, it's so cute. It's so adorable. And we
were talking about scores earlier. That score in this one.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, Soul is definitely the better movie. It made my top 10 of last year. And, I don't know. It's hard. They're such different movies.
They really
I love them both. It's sort of like picking apples and oranges.
The reason why I picked it is because they're 2 very visually striking.
They are
with beautiful scores.
I agree with that.
And because you don't really need the source material to be as light for it to be perfect.
I am more likely to rewatch Cruella a bunch than I am because Soul is emotionally affecting and it was hilarious and beautiful, but it really
You'll be shocked. I didn't cry.
I didn't cry either.
I did for 3 seconds, and it's during that montage towards the end where he's showing his dad playing the piano.
That sort of took my breath away and made me emotional, but I didn't cry. But it's a heavy movie. I remember writing I think it's probably the heaviest, most insightful movie Pixar has made, and they've made some really beautiful stuff like Inside Out.
They've had some moments that have been really heavy in their movies, but the whole movie from beginning to end is heavy. And I think the thing that really strikes you is that, you're grappling with a person who's not ready to die, to move on, and now has to lead somebody to life. And they suddenly realize that, they have a lot to live for too.
Yeah.
It's oh my gosh.
There were a lot of movies last year, this one in particular, that the takeaway was so perfect during the pandemic. embrace life's little moments. That's what really makes this all worth living. Like, people will get so hung up on what's my purpose. I'm not accomplishing my goal.
What's my spark? Why am I missing?
I'm a failure, blah, blah, blah. But there are so many little beautiful moments, from a leaf floating in the wind to a kid laughing on the street to, the smell of pavement after hot rain, just all these wonderful, cracking open a new book and the sound that the spine makes, and you can get
the smell of
the smell.
Oh my gosh.
Like, so many lovely little things that really are what
walking
make
into like a bakery when something's going out.
Like, you know what, one of those moments, my spark, like, we're both big sports fans, obviously. I'm a huge UCF fan. I graduated from UCF in 2019 because I went back at 30 because I'm insane. Thank you. And like, the coolest thing to me, our stadium literally, it's a giant erector set made out of aluminum and hope. But the whole thing just shakes when they turn on Zombie Nation. Like, and it is one of the most beautiful moments because the whole crowd is just like in a wave of people jumping up and down and acting crazy, and people shake their keys and do all kinds of crazy stuff. And that's what they do at kickoffs. And it's probably that's where my spark comes from. Like, and it's those little moments in the middle of those games. Like, when I couldn't go to games and they were, televising them, I'm sitting there doing all the same things. I'm jumping up and down in my living room as if I'm actually there. And people are looking at me in my house like, what the hell is wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't freaking care. Charge on.
I totally get it. Like, there are so many like traditions and moments from Rangers hockey games that, throughout most of this season, when I was watching the games at home because it couldn't go, that I was doing on the couch. And then got to go, and it was like being back home. But to me, like, my spark is when you're going to see a live performance and the lights go out and the curtain hasn't opened yet. And there are those few seconds where the only thing you know for sure is that literally anything could happen. Anything, because with live performance, you never know. Anything can happen. And that to me is so thrilling. That gives me joy, and that gives me life.
You want to know the wildest one of those that I've ever had? I went to see Hamilton on my birthday in 2019 in Tampa, and I was all the way at the freaking top. Like, I literally could touch the wall behind me. But the moment the lights went down and I heard, the dun 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 dun, I'm like, and like, it literally turned into a faucet and was sobbing.
Well, it's a good thing we're going to see Hamilton on the first day it reopens after being shut down for a year and a half for COVID, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's gonna be me for like a whole.
That is happening. Yeah, University of Central Florida.
Golden
I
Knights.
was about to answer, yeah. Go Knights, charge on. Yeah, GKCO, all that.
Yeah, I think my spark would just be hugs. It's just something.
Oh, you're such a softie.
I am.
I think you and Rachel Silvestrini have the same spark. Like,
Rachel Silvestrini likes to sit on my lap and hug me.
She likes to sit on anybody's.
No,
lap.
I understand. It's not exclusive to me. I'm gonna go back and do a couple more. Ginger Snaps or 30 Days of Night. Ooh,
30 Days of Night.
It's Ginger Snaps for me. 30 Days of Night is a good vampire movie. To me, Ginger Snaps is one of the best ever werewolf movies.
Okay.
And it has this badass feminist energy. It's such a cool movie if you haven't seen it. It's Canadian as hell. It's like a deeply, deeply Canadian movie. I'm assuming you've seen neither.
That's probably correct.
Correct. Labyrinth or Dark Crystal?
Ooh.
Go ahead.
Labyrinth.
Yeah, only one of them has David Bowie. It's Labyrinth.
Yeah, as much as I love both of them, it's Labyrinth.
I mean, it's no secret that I think David Bowie's the greatest recording artist that ever lived. And a brilliant performer and actor when he did stuff. Magic Dance, it's Labyrinth. It's not even.
Yeah. Magic Dance.
Star Trek Wrath of Khan or Star Trek The Voyage Home?
Wrath of Khan.
Yeah. Khan!
I think.
But also, again, it's one of the rare films where the bad guy and the good guy never have a scene together.
Yep. Yeah, Wrath of Khan is a classic of sci-fi. Ooh. Okay, Toy Story 3 or WALL-E?
WALL-E.
WALL-E.
Wow.
WALL-E's my favorite Pixar movie.
Same.
I think WALL-E is a flat out masterpiece.
Yep.
I think Toy Story 3 is fantastic. I mean, Pixar's batting average is like outrageous. So even their lesser movies to me are still mostly great movies, but WALL-E to me is an all-time great movie.
WALL-E is one of my, depending on the day, it's either this or Casablanca, where you ask me, if you're like, Eric, what's your favorite movie? It's either going to be WALL-E or Casablanca.
WALL-E.
I remember when I was at Barnes & Noble working in the movie section and we just got Blu-rays, I would sell a WALL-E every week just by telling everyone, just get to the scene where he's going through space, touching the rings of Saturn, touching all the rocks. That's going to look so great on your Blu-ray player.
Yes, I agree. Let's see. I'll spark it for you, Dana. Just tell me when and where. No problem.
Also, I note that I said anyone who can build an entire Jurassic Park and Animal Crossing has to have a spark that's dinosaurs.
Now, Sean, this one,
ooh,
I have an answer. I do. However,
can I get some clarification? Are we talking the first one or just franchises?
Let's just do first ones.
Okay. Ooh.
I have an answer.
If we're talking first ones, that changes my answer.
It doesn't change my answer.
It may change my answer. Go.
Back to the Future.
Jurassic Park. No pressure, Amber.
This is hard.
By the way, speaking of Back to the Future, while Amber thinks, go ahead and get yourself a copy of Brad Gilmore books, Back to the Future, a celebration. Brad Gilmore's book, Back to the Future, a celebration of the greatest time travel story ever told. I am not kissing ass just because he's the president of the First Class League, the boat. But it's a great book. I highly recommend you get yourself a copy.
Sure he isn't. Yay.
Oh, okay. Speaking of franchises.
Okay.
Oh, so if we were talking about first one, it was going to end up being Jurassic Park, probably. But if we're talking franchises, it's Back to the Future.
It's still Back to the Future for me.
Primarily because I love the original Back to the Future, like the first one. But Back to the Future 3 is my hands down favorite of the trilogy. I love it so much because I've always been infatuated with that ideal of the Old West, and I just love it so much. Also, like what's his name? Tom Wilson. I love Tom Wilson so much. I've seen him do stand up.
I don't think there's a bad movie in the Back to the Future franchise where the other two have
bad movies.
Exactly.
And the Indiana Jones movie I think is bad is probably not the one everyone else does.
I think I might know what you're saying.
Temple of Doom is the bad Indiana Jones movie. I don't think Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is a great movie, but I think it's a good movie, and Temple of Doom is not.
Than Temple of Doom.
It is. I agree.
I think the issue in most things, like, first off, Crystal Skull kind of goes off the rails for a moment, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I like the fact that they used the refrigerator trick finally.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me.
That was supposed to be in other things. And Shia LaBeouf, though questionable, I remember a certain time when a certain show based on, a movie about time traveling dorks, Bill and Ted, made fun of Shia LaBeouf by substituting Shia LaBeouf for the word ass. So they started calling things Shia LaBeouf holes. And I think I died. I was like, this is amazing. It was probably like my favorite year. I think that was 2009.
Oh, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a good year for Halloween.
There's also one Jurassic Park movie I think is really bad, but it's also probably not the one everyone thinks it is.
Which one is it?
The one Jurassic Park movie I think is really bad is The Lost World.
Yay!
That's the one I think is
really bad. Because Jurassic Park 3 is fun.
Jurassic Park 3 has its moments where it's like,
yeah, it's not great, but it's fun. Jurassic World I love. I know not everyone does. I love it. And I like Fallen Kingdom.
I love Jurassic World. I thought it was so much fun.
I saw Jurassic World 7 times in theaters.
I saw it twice.
I like Fallen Kingdom.
I like Fallen Kingdom too.
There's a certain part where it kind of goes a little off the rails again for me. I kind of have that Crystal Skull feeling about it once they get off Isla Nublar.
Yeah.
But
My
because
problem with
the
Fallen
destruction of Isla Nublar kills me.
It's devastating.
Every
That
time.
shot of the Brontosaurus going like, "Brr."
No.
But I like how Fallen Kingdom in its climax sort of became a haunted house movie. I thought
Yeah.
that was a really cool twist on the formula. Like the notion of this raptor haunting kids in an old Gothic mansion while it's raining is really cool.
My problem with Fallen Kingdom was just like the girl's last line at the end where he's like, I'm alive like them, or whatever it was. I was like, oh.
Well, I also think the setup for the next one is really cool.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
there's
the thing.
so much
I
possibility.
can't wait for Dominion.
Yeah,
I
I'm
cannot
excited.
Wait.
I'm really
Yeah.
excited.
And like I found it in my memories on Facebook the other day where I posted the repost, and I was like, ooh, this is coming soon.
Also, if you like Jurassic Park, the Netflix animated show Camp Cretaceous is really fun.
I haven't watched it. I want to watch it.
I haven't seen the new season, but it's really enjoyable.
It's definitely
On your list?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a really, as Dana said, it's a really long list.
I have
I
a
think-
coworker at work who loves Jurassic Park. Like that's his favorite franchise. So he got his kid to really be invested in the animated series. So eventually he could show him the movies. But I think he just wanted somebody to watch the show with.
I will say this, like in terms of Back to the Future, though, it is probably one of the best comprehensive trilogies.
I agree.
I think the Bobs, Zemeckis and Gale knew what they were doing.
The Bobs.
Yeah, I mean that's
He
actually
knows them well enough to call them the Bobs.
well. So I may or may not transcribe a certain podcast by a certain author who we just showed a book for. So if you happen to look at Back to the Future, the podcast, I've literally listened to Bob Gale talk in half speed for an hour to 3 hours. And he's actually a lot of fun to listen to. I also got really, really super obsessed with the idea of the what is it, the Haynes manuals. So I got Doc Brown's workshop manual about the DeLorean. It's got a bunch
I have one of those.
journal
I
entries
have
and
that
stuff.
too.
I know you got it because you couldn't wait for me to bring it up here. Hey, what's up? No, but Back to the Future is so much fun. It's like, I love the fact that it was literally the reason why it came about was because they wanted to write a story about what would it be like if you knew what your parents were doing when they were kids. And it literally was Zemeckis and Gale throwing that out there. And then they were like, let's write a movie about it. And I love the like knowing what went into building this trilogy, because it was one of my favorites for a long time, but now I'm just super happy. I love knowing more behind the scenes stuff because now I've gotten to listen to so much of the podcast. And if this is a shameless plug for Brad Gilmore and Back to the Future, the podcast. If you really want to listen to a good podcast about Back to the Future, and
it's a really good podcast.
Yeah, he does a lot of really good stuff. Just listen to it in full speed because he talks very fast, and I literally have to rewind for him, and I never have to rewind for his guests. So I'm like, Brad, why? Why? Why do you talk
Because he's
so
really
fast?
excited about it.
Yes.
I think it's possible.
Could be fun.
I think it makes no sense, but then again, who cares?
Yeah.
I will say this about potential franchise crossovers that have been rumored over the last years. What I really want is the 21 Jump Street Men in Black.
Yeah, that's the one I want.
God,
Can they
that sounds
film it-
fun.
Can they film it in New Orleans?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Well,
I mean, if they get Lord and Miller to help write and direct that crossover, I'd be very, very happy.
I'd be a dirty liar if I didn't say, like, I was in New Orleans last week for a funeral, and it's my hometown. So I get really excited because the school that they used in 21 Jump Street was the school that I went to for 3 years. And I get real excited because like the Ellie Kemper's classroom was my biology classroom and my freshman homeroom. And like, there's like the peace sign over like one of the doors. Like my friend and I made that. I was like, this is so bizarre. What world do I live in? The little speech classroom that they were in was my speech classroom. So like we put up a wall in there. We painted it black because it used to have like, the green asbestos tiling that Louisiana schools love to have.
A lot of schools had that.
Yeah, exactly. And then I went to another high school for senior year, and that's where they filmed the Peter Pan play scene. So that was filmed in my other high school. And I was like, this is such a weird world. And I was driving over the Greater New Orleans Bridge, which is that iconic bridge that you see in all these movies. Well, that's where they filmed that car chase scene on that big bridge. So I'm like taking a video and I'm like, this is where we are. Yeah. So it's really
I saw the video.
I sent it to you, yes.
Well,
But
some of us didn't get it, so I'm loving the story.
See, yeah.
I wasn't saying don't tell the story. Jeez. I'm just gonna be over here. Look what you made me do. He's switching.
Aww.
Okay, Taylor.
He's angry now.
Oh no, not an angry squid. Oh, he's happy again.
Not by my doing.
Be happy. Anyway, so yeah, I like absolutely love it. Oh, yes, I thought I sent it to you. So I had videos that like stopped sending, so I'll just try to send it to you again because the internet and the signal was really bad down there. Whenever we ended up where we were going to the funeral, like the signal was terrible, and I was like, "What is going on in this hometown? No, turn it back." Bad.
Gosh.
But yeah, no, I love it. It's a lot of fun. I just get really kind of happily giddy. Yeah, that's right, happy. I get really happy giddy because I'm like, this is my home. Oh, look at that, man.
I think we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
I think it's been about an hour. It's a pretty light night of stuff to talk about.
That's true.
Had some fun. Talked about Cruella and Quiet Place. Thank you all so much for watching and engaging in the chat. Really good audience tonight. Eric,
Great audience.
Everyone find you, and what do you got going on?
You can find me on Twitter at handsome_cheese, where I will give mini reviews of movies that I watch and other random thoughts that come in my head. I use the platform for what it's meant for. Also, will be pumping up Maxwell on Tuesday.
Oh, thank you. You can find me on Twitter at Cinemaxwell, Instagram at Cinemaxwell Inc. Of course, you can always find me here on the PJ Campbell Network. We will be doing a watch along tomorrow night. Probably going to be Catherine Bigelow's Point Break, which was selected by our executive producer, Brandy Parker. However, we'll confirm that. So stay tuned to the PJC Network Twitter. You can find me Wednesday on What the Show. They're doing a Mighty Ducks character ranking tier list that I'm going to be a part of. And Tuesday night, you can find me playing my first match in the First Class League at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then after I most likely win, you can find me on the Gold Standard over on the Let's Get Ready Network at 9:30 Eastern, where Amber and ASG will be interviewing me. And I'm sure that will be, fine.
I did kick him off the show last week because he didn't answer a question.
Where can everyone find you online, Amber? And I hope everyone has a lot of time because, as you know, if you have ever seen her on the show, her list of plugs is voluminous.
Anyway, so I'm Takara Kanashi on Twitter, Instagram, Stereo, Letterboxd, and Twitch. I wasn't getting made fun of for having a note on my phone for this. You can find me on the Let's Get Ready Network doing the Gold Standard. That's Tuesdays at 6:30 Pacific, 9:30. It's 3 hours, right? 9:30 Eastern. LGR Reviews, Loki is coming back, so we're going to be doing that soon. What day does Loki start?
June 9th it starts.
June 9th. Okay.
Day after my birthday.
Oh, speaking of Loki, us here at the PJ Campbell Network will be doing water cooler chat for Loki. That'll be Thursday nights after Loki airs on Wednesday. Be sure to tune in for that. I'm sure Amber will be on plenty of those also because, as you know, she's a schmoho.
Yeah. And then so
pronounce it like Brad. You can find her on Twitter at Takaraka Kanashi. It's not hard to say Takara Kanashi, y'all.
It's Takara Kanashi.
Gesundheit.
Bless you.
Anyways, finish.
Thanks. The Night Sisters on Twitch with Bador and Adelia. When Bador can come back, stop. Right here on the PJ Campbell Network, being tortured by this fuck.
Jesus Christ. Good thing he's angry. Oh, he fell.
I'm just going to flip it so you can stop being a little bitch. Look, he's happy again. the Sunday evening unwind. What's this? And then water cooler chats. I know I'll be talking about Loki. And then over on Video Drew's network, as a mod on YouTube and our Discord, I tell Garth to put that name down because he definitely likes to pick those names up. And I do quizzes and things like that. So yeah. Also, if you didn't see it last week, exactly a week ago, we did a really fun birthday party for Video Drew, and it was amazing.
It was lovely. I did a video for it. It was a great night.
It was awesome. So if
Amber hosted and really did a resplendent job.
I was resplendent. Yeah.
Which is so in opposition to how you normally are. I was shocked at how professional and competent you were when you're normally such a mess.
It's so amazing that you should say that because you're a righteous cunt. Anyway. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Everybody, this is our lives right here. Brother-sister relationship. You're stuck with me now.
I know.
Anyway, so like I wish it had like sticky stuff, just like wet. There you go. But yeah, so
this is how I'll be dressed for my first class league match.
Do it.
If I lose, I'll switch it to angry. If I win, he'll get to stay happy.
No pressure.
This is the plot to the sequel to the Academy Award nominated documentary, My Octopus Friend. My Octopus Teacher, sorry. Anything else, Amber, before we go?
No, I don't have any other plugs, so you can do the thing.
All right. Thank you all so much for tuning in. On behalf of all of us here at the PJ Campbell Network, have a lovely evening. Stay safe, get vaccinated, wear your masks if necessary, and we will see you tomorrow for a watch along. Peace and love.
Do the thing.
Ta-ta!
Please leave this office.
Do we get any sort of souvenir?
Get out of my office!
I'll be back. I gotta pay.
Throw me a frickin' bone here. I'm the boss. Need the info.
Shut the fuck up, Donnie.
Heavy is the head that eats the crayons. I'm gonna take a nap. See you in 10 hours.
Dude, I almost had you.
You almost had me. You never had me. I like your style, dude.